welcome back to my channel. My name is Justina, and here I like to make, create, and inspire fun art things with you through my DIYs. So as you see by the title, there is 70 more days until Halloween. I am super excited, and I have some easy and affordable DIYs to share with you today. If you're new here, I hope you stick around by hitting that subscribe button. If you aren't and you enjoyed today's videos, don't forget to smash that thumbs up and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and without further ado, let's art today. Jumping right into our first DIY, I have these 3 canvases that I've had for quite some time, and I also made them over about 2 years ago. If you would like to see that original video, I'll make sure to leave it down in the description box below. My original idea was to cover them with a tapestry, but the one I wanted was still unavailable. So to fix that, I will be using Dollar Tree materials for the third of the price, and I think that is a steal. So the only thing that I really need for this project is this wall decoration from Dollar Tree. It is this huge mural of a cemetery in the woods, and I just love it. It has skeletons everywhere, tombstones, and a little crow in the middle, and this is so huge. It worked perfectly for this project. So to get this DIY started, all I needed to do was cover the existing canvas. Now I could have just replaced it with a flat white vinyl, but I did not have that in the budget at the moment, so I did what I had on hand. So I had another mural that I've been using for the past 2 years. It's been faded out, and I just want to cover it because I kind of want to cover the painting in the background. I actually use the back side of that mural, and I'm taking some masking tape and I will tape it like a present all the way around the back side. This is such a great DIY to do without killing your budget, and it just makes a great statement piece. Now the reason I'm using tape is because I want to reuse this canvas another time, so tape is not permanent and I can remove it whenever I like. Once that was taped up, this is what the canvas looks like. Now looking back, I really wished I pulled that canvas a little bit tighter just so that you won't be able to see the wrinkles, but I still love the outcome. Here are all 3 of the canvases completely covered. I did the same exact thing as I did on the first canvas. Now it's time to unravel that wall decoration from Dollar Tree, and I absolutely love it. It is so huge and it has so much detail, and I just really loved how this turned out. I'm just placing it right on top of those 3 canvases just to get an idea of where I want to place them. Then I will cut them out and tape them up like I did with the previous canvas. This is what they look like after they have been cut out and taped onto that new canvas. Like I said before, I really wish I would have pulled those canvases a little bit more taut so you didn't see the wrinkles, but it still came out nicely. Here's how it looks after I hung them up on the wall. Now I'm not sure how to really get all of those creases out. I'm pretty sure if I tried to iron this on a low setting iron to get them out, I was afraid that I would burn that plastic, but nonetheless this really does make an impact in my living room, and I just loved how it turned out. Here is a view of it further back so you get an idea of how it's hung up. Now you can do this with any wall decorations that Dollar Tree carries, and it makes such a great impact in your Halloween decor. As always, I would love to know what you think about this DIY down in the comment section below. Moving right into our second DIY of the day, and the easiest DIY ever. I found this candle holder at my local 99-cent store. Now it was $7.99, pretty pricey for the 99-cent store in my opinion, but I loved how this looked. Now it is metal and it does have these little dangling beads on the end, and I just think it's perfect, but to make it more of my style, I needed to make it over. So the first thing I did was remove those little beads from the candle holder itself, and I put those to the side. I then went outside and I took my Rust-Oleum high gloss spray paint and I started spray painting it in the color black. Now I do give it about 2 coats of that Rust-Oleum spray paint, only because I needed to flip it over a couple of times to get all in those little nooks and crannies. Now remember, you can paint your candle holder however you like. I'm just trying to give you some inspiration for the Halloween season. Here's how it looks after it has time to completely dry, and I just love it. It just makes it look more expensive and more high end. Now it's time to put back on those beads. Now I didn't record the part where I removed the little holder of the beads at the top of the candle. I removed them from both sides and I only left 2 of those holding bead hanger things at the bottom, and that completes this DIY. I really loved how this turned out. It looks so high-end, so classy, and I just love it. Now I did put 2 real candles and 1 fake candle from Dollar Tree in the top of the candle holder, but to be honest, the fake candle in the middle fits perfectly in there, so I might have to run out to Dollar Tree and buy 2 more so that I can light my little candle holder. I would love to know what you think about this DIY down in the comment section below. For my next DIY, I am using a foam skull from Dollar Tree and one of these wooden pallets that are in the shape of a coffin, and I want to make this decorative piece. So the first thing I do is remove the plastic from the skull, and then I take that wooden piece and I try to eye where I want to cut it. I then take an X-Acto knife and I start cutting the head of the skull because I want the skull to lay flat on that wood piece. Make sure if you're doing anything with sharp objects, you are extra careful for your safety. Now I do the same on both sides and then I cut it until it is completely off of the back of the skull. This is what it looks like once it was removed from the back of the head. And here is the skull. Now this is a nice flat piece. Now to get all the way to the center of the skull, because this is a huge piece of foam, I did have to use a bread knife. Just be careful with any sharp objects. And I'm just trying to figure out where to lay down my skull. Now after I have an idea, it is now time to paint. I first start painting that wood piece and I did sand it off camera. I first go in with a chalk paint called Castle. It is this nice gray color, and I start dry brushing it all over that wood palette. Next, I'm going in with my Java brown color in my folk art home decor chalk paint, and I start dry brushing that onto the palette as well. I wanted this to really look old and wooden and weathered, just so that it would give an eerie effect. Once I was done with that, I did place it to the side to dry. Next, I will paint my skull, and I'm going in with my folk art home decor chalk paint in the color black, and I'm using a foam brush because styrofoam sometimes have these air pockets and it's really hard to get to with a paintbrush, so using a foam brush really works. And I make sure to paint the whole thing in that chalk paint. Next, I'm taking some silver acrylic paint and I'm dry brushing that all over the skull, just so that we can see some of those details even better. Now that my pieces had time to dry, it is time to assemble everything together. Once again, I'm trying to get a good feel of where I want to place my skull, and then I'm just attaching everything together using my hot glue gun. I make sure to load on that hot glue on the back of that skull and press down firmly so that the wooden palette can adhere to the skull. So at first I thought I was going to put a candle on top of my skull's head, but as I was going through my crafting stash, I found more succulent plants, and this just made me feel a little bit more witchy. So I took a couple succulents and started adding it on top of the skull's head. I did have to take a pair of needle nose pliers and shove it inside his head to make little holes so that I can stick the succulents deep down in there. And I'm just using my hot glue gun to attach everything together. Now I also added some greenery and some leaves from other plants as well, just to spruce it up. And lastly, I added some moss inside of his eye and on top of the casket. And this is how it looks so far, but I really wanted to hang this on the wall, and to do so I'm just attaching a little jute string on the back of the casket using some hot glue and some masking tape to hold everything together, and that completes this DIY. This is how it turned out after it is now hanging on my wall. I really loved how I placed the greenery on top of his head instead of a candle. I had put so many candles on top of so many skulls that I really like this change. And like I said earlier, it does feel more witchy, which is more of my aesthetic in my home. I would love to know what you think about this DIY down below. Once again, here is an overview of everything that I've created today in this video for you. I really loved each and one of these DIYs. Like I mentioned earlier, they were so simple and really affordable, and anyone can do it. Now, I did mention in a poll not too long ago if you would like to see longer videos with more DIYs or shorter videos, and there were mixed reviews. A lot of people said both, so I kept this one as short as possible and as simple as possible for those people who like short and simple videos, and I hope you guys like them. Now, if you are new here and haven't yet subscribed, I would love for you to do that today. All you have to do is click that big red subscribe button down below. It is completely free, and I would love for you to stick around and be part of my virtual art family. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. It really does help out my channel, and it lets me know that you love Halloween as much as I do. Thank you everyone who has supported me and has stuck around to the very end, and if you did, I would love to see another Halloween emoji down in the comments section. Don't forget to leave me a message to let me know which one was your favorite DIY of the day. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.